it showing? Oh dear. There we go. Okay. I thought I lost you guys for a moment. So we are back. We are on page 156. And really this is all like one large question here. It's a performance task. So again, they're kind of breaking it apart, trying to scaffold you through, meaning guide you through the thinking in order to solve. And then finally down here is where you would actually answer the question. So we're going to read this problem. It's a very long, lengthy problem. We're going to talk about it and then work our way through solving. The Stillwater Storm soccer team consists of 16 players. There are 16 players on the team. Each player needs a uniform set. I guess that's kind of referring to this chart right here. So the uniform set has a jersey, a pair of shorts, and a pair of socks, I'm guessing. I guess I need to keep reading. The uniform set includes 2 jerseys. Ooh, okay. So they actually need 2 of these per set. A pair of shorts, so just 1. And a pair of socks, so just 1. The price for each separate item is shown. 9 of the players need a medium size. And the others need a small size. Okay, so there's still 16 players. Just need to remind myself of that. If the team buys more than 10 sets, the team price for each set is $56. So if your team goes and buys them all together, the price maybe is $56. How much money is saved if the team buys all the uniform sets together rather than separately? So if all of the players put all their money into one big envelope and then they paid all at the same time, I guess the price is $56, and evidently it's going to be cheaper because the question is how much money is saved. If you go off and each of the parents buy it separately for each individual of the 16 players, then the price is going to be a little higher. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what it would cost if each player's family just buys separately the uniform. So again, kind of getting rid of this, how are the quantities related? We're just using this area to solve. So we have 16 players who need the uniform. And we know that the uniform consists of 2 of those jerseys, and then 1 pair of shorts, and 1 pair of socks. That's what each of those 16 players has to pay. So we should probably add this up to find out what they're going to pay if they all buy it separately. So 23 plus 23 plus 17 plus 8. Whew. 3 plus 3 is 6. 7 plus 8 is 15. So 15 plus 6 more. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Yes, I counted on my fingers. I'm going to put the 2 here, or the 1 here, sorry, and carry the 2. So now I have 2, 4, 6, plus 1 more is 7. 71. $71 represents the amount that the 16 players would each pay if they bought, let's say, sold separately. Okay. That's for 1 uniform set. Now, we learned back in this problem that if they buy more than 10 sets, so if instead of selling them separately, they put all their money together and they just buy all the uniforms, price goes down, $56. So now we can think, okay, so if sold, let's just forget that part. If you bought them as a set, meaning you still have 16 players, however, the price goes down to $56. This is sold together. Now we can multiply. let's do an area model. Because you guys are getting really good at area models. We're going to break apart each factor into its place value. 16 is 10 and 6. And then we're going to break apart this factor, 56 into 50, and then the ones place, 6. So now we can multiply. Any number multiplying by 10 is pretty easy. You just add on the 0. So 50, and then add on this 0. 10 times 6, you can probably do in your head, that's 60. Now you're ready to multiply the ones. 50 times 6, or 6 times 50. I don't know that, but I do know 6 times 5 is 30. Bring down my 0. And 6 times 6, I know my basic facts, that's 36. So now I'm going to need to add these partial products together. Well, 500 plus 300 is 800, plus 60 plus 36. 6 plus 0 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, so 96. You got it. 896. You probably did that in your head before I could even write it. So we now know the cost of the total cost here of sold separately. But there's something else that we didn't do. If you're looking at this page, I want you thinking, what's the step that Mrs. Body did not complete yet? Right, if we're thinking about the uniforms, we found the cost sold separately. That was 71, and we knew the cost sold as a group was 56. And we found the total price that they would have to pay if they put them all together. But did we find the total price for the 16 uniforms at $71 each? We did not. So now we have to go back up here, set up our area model, and now we need to break apart and multiply. So we know the cost is $71, and there's still 16, so we're going to break apart 10 and 6, just like we did before. Sorry, that's like squeezed in there. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then we're going to break apart 71 into its place values of 70 and 1. We'll zoom in a little bit. So 10 times 70, again, it's 70, but add the extra 0, so 700. And then 10 times 1 we know is 10. 6 times 70. 6 times 7 is 42, and add your 0. And 6 times 1 is 6. So now I can add these partial products straight down. 10 plus 6 is 16. And then 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. 7 plus 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You got it. 1,120 plus 16. I'm just going to bring the 16 right down here and add. 0 plus 6 is 6. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1, bring it down. 1, bring it down. So this amount right here, 1,136, represents the total amount that the players would spend if all 16 players bought their uniforms separately. The amount of 896 represents the amount that they would spend if they all bought them together. So if you remember, this is all about persevering, I know. I feel the same way, even solving it as an adult and as a teacher that's done this problem multiple times. The question is, how much money is saved if the team buys all the uniform sets together rather than separately? Whew, almost there. Well, if we're talking about the money saved, then we know we need to take the amount that they would spend if they bought them separately and subtract the amount that they would spend if they bought them all together. And we're going to subtract these totals. 6 minus 6 is 0. And now I cannot do this, so I need to borrow. I believe this becomes a 0, and this is not 13. 13 minus 9. Right, that's 4. But now what do we do here? Well, I'm going to show you guys a little trick. Take a look. 1 and 0, that's 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. Hopefully you got the same answer, because yes, if you take this and you make this a 0 and now this becomes 10, it's still 10, take away 8, which leaves you with 2. So when we now answer this question, we know that they will save $240. You got it. That wraps up part 2. If you guys have any questions, I will be glad to answer those tomorrow. You did a great job. I know this was a really long, lengthy problem. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.